Welcome, folks, to the celebration of the 60th anniversary of the studio tour. My name's Evan. Woo! I'm your guide. Raise your hand if you've never been on the studio tour before. Okay, well, welcome. Raise your hand if you have been on the studio tour before. Raise your hand if you haven't been since it's been the 60th. Okay, very cool. Well, welcome back. Lots of new things for everyone. This is where I tell you, move all the way to the right. If there's anyone in your fitness speech and touch the floor, now's a great time to move into the center of the room. Does everyone have 3D glasses? All right, well, we're going to head out in just a moment. All right, folks. Well, we're heading out. Wave goodbye to everybody on your left-hand side. And I want to welcome you to the Universal Studios Hollywood and welcome aboard our 60th anniversary studio tour. Your driver is Luke. Give it up for Luke, everybody. Yes! My name is Evan. I'll be your guide today as we head out to the lot. Hello! For the next hour or so, I'll be your guide when we go behind the scenes to one of Hollywood's biggest and brightest studios. Before we start, I have a few safety rules for y'all. First, if you need any guest assistance or have a medical emergency, or if you drop anything of value off the side of the tram or have any sound or video issues, please reach up and grab the red cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside this vehicle at all times. The studio is private property. If any time during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, please pull the cord and remain seated. Please no smoking or vaping of any kind during the tour or in our theme park. Be prepared today for our tour features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects. You want to have your cell phones and your cameras ready for great photo opportunities, and keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. Finally, for your safety and those aboard, please don't use any selfie sticks. Well, folks, you know him, you love him. He's our master of the ceremonies tonight, the host of the Tonight Show. It's Jimmy Fallon.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Fallon. Welcome aboard the world famous studio tour. I know what you're thinking. Why the tux? Well, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary. That's right, 60 years of glitz, glamour, and our own great white shark. As we celebrate our diamond anniversary today, we'll pay tribute to Universal's past and take you behind the scenes to discover why this studio tour is world famous. So whether this is your first visit or your 60th, get ready for fun, excitement, and an experience like no other.
That's right, thank you, Jimmy. Folks, we're heading down the Universal timeline. On March 15, 1950, our founder, Carl Ledley, invited the public into the studio to watch silent films being made. Guests could walk from set to set and marvel at new technology involved in filming. But with the innovation of the need for, quote, quiet on the set, the original walked tour in the 1960s under the leadership of Chairman Lou Wasserman and executives Al Dorsey and Jay Stein. The idea of reviving a tour of the studio returned when the Gray Line bus originating in Hollywood made a stop at our gates. On July 15, 1964, the first of our red and white candy-striped glamour trams took 67 passengers on a 2-hour driving tour. And thus, the world-famous Universal Studio Tour was born. We started with 2 drivers, 2 guides, and 1 ticket seller working out of a trailer on Lincolnshire Boulevard. But from there, the studio tour expanded with fantastic one-of-a-kind Hollywood elements like the rock slide and the burning house, which were in this area back in the 1970s and 80s. Now, folks, today you are on one of our newest versions of the tour vehicle, the electric tram. We continue our commitment to creating a zero-emissions studio tour fleet. Electric trams get their power from wireless inductive charging pads, just like the ones in your cell phone, only much larger. And the electric car, we have regenerative braking. Every time we go downhill during this tour, guess what? We're building a charge. We're no strangers to innovation when it comes to our tour vehicles. We started with the glamour trams in 1964. In 1983, we upgraded the super trams, allowing us to carry more guests and experience more thrills. And in 2000, we added onboard video, turning the tram into a movie theater on wheels. Speaking of which, check out this movie theater on wheels to see some things that have filmed on our Universal lot. front lot. On your left-hand side, we have sound stages. On your right-hand side, we have fake sound stages. It's actually Super Nintendo World on your right-hand side. But sound stages are what's on your screen. Essentially, they're blank warehouses that serve as a perfect 3D canvas for filmmakers. On that montage, you saw Ron Howard's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That production used over 10 of our sound stages here on our lot. One was just for hair and makeup, because anytime Jim Carrey wanted to transfer into the Grinch, he was in the makeup chair for 8 hours a day. That was before filming even started. Coming up on your left-hand side, we have what's referred to as base camp. Base camp is everything a production needs that can't fit inside a soundstage. Here we have bathrooms, wardrobe, makeup, dressing rooms, and more. This is currently base camp for a show called Bel Air. Bel Air is a dramatic retelling of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and they filmed partially in Soundstage 14. That's where the high school is set up for that production. Now to tell you a little bit more about our front lot is that show star.
Hello everybody, there's my boy! I know you love your dada!
Yes, of course he loves you. He just doesn't show it on his face or with his body language.
We've had some really good sequences in Despicable Me movies. The heist of the Honey Badger is now officially my favorite. What it comes down to is the emotional through line, and I believe that that's why these movies have stayed in people's hearts.
Now also in this body of water, one of our creatures, named the creature from the Black Lagoon, is celebrating its 70th anniversary this year. And across the way from Park Lake, those sound stages 32 and 33 were seen in Jordan Peele's Nope. That's where sibling duo Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya rent out horses to different Hollywood productions. It was also seen in Jordan Peele's Us, where all the cages with the rabbits, that was filmed inside those sound stages. Now, Park Lake and the next sets made an appearance in one of my other favorite shows of all time, NBC's The Good Place. Metropolitan sets, and they have been seen as many different cities all around the world. They've been seen as New York City in Home Alone 2 starring Macaulay Culkin, or Mindy Kaling's The Mindy Project, and I was that guy that Jimmy Fallon was referencing. This was seen as my hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota in Jingle All the Way starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Also, those brownstone apartments on your right is where Annie met her dog Sandy in the movie musical Annie.
Welcome to the Courthouse Square. These sets were used to create Hill Valley in the Back to the Future films.
And they represented multiple time periods, 1985, 1955, and the far, far distant future, 2015. To this day, this is one of the most popular sets on the Universal Studio Tour.
We had a lot of fun making those films here on the lot. I wonder what it would be like to go back to those days. If only we had a time machine.
Hey everybody, do you think we can get this tram up to 88 miles per hour?
Welcome everyone, we are
See
now
you
in the
future.
future. We're now rounding the corner. This is the street where Marty McFly had to get the time machine up to 88 miles per hour. And on your left-hand side, that is Courthouse Square.
Great Scott, it's time to go back to the future. This famous line, along with "Isn't he a dreamboat?" were uttered right here at Courthouse Square, aka Hill Valley, from 1985's Back to the Future.
Welcome to Hill Valley, California, and there's Doc Brown himself working on the time machine.
You can't sneak up on me like that. Maybe you should look at putting a bell on that thing. Did you see it? We used 1.21 gigawatts right into the flux capacitor, hitting the time machine, sending it 88 miles per hour directly into the future. Now that must be, right, Scott, 60 years, is that right? You're celebrating 60 years, and you're here with us, being a part of that history. Give it up for yourselves. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the future, my friends. Take care.
Thank you very much, Doc. Unfortunately, we have run out of time to spend here.
Take a look at some recent productions featuring this iconic location.
Hey, dog, are you bringing your dolls to school? It's the 90s. Time to change it.
One of my favorite productions that recently used this that Leah Thompson had mentioned was Mindy Kaling's Never Have I Ever. It was seen as a nightclub in Princeton, New Jersey. And now we're rounding our corner onto our New York street, and there used to be an iconic studio tour attraction here, but I'm not going to tell you about it. Instead, I'm going to have my friend Jack Black do it.
And self-action. Did you know
The Metro sets were once the home to Hollywood's biggest star.
right here is where the original studio tour King Kong attraction
Resided from 1986 until 2008.
He stood 30 feet tall and weighed in at 13,000 pounds. Over the years, millions of guests got to meet King Kong face to face as he shook the tram. So close you could feel his hot banana breath. Is that it? Can't believe that's my last line, and then tram moves on to the next thing.
Well, we're making our way down New York Street. Some other things that have filmed here include American Ninja Warrior. They had their obstacle course up. On your left-hand side, that theater was used for The Amazing Spider-Man starring Tobey Maguire. We also had a lot of music videos filmed here. We've had the likes of Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Jungkook of BTS, and Pink, all film music videos here. But now we're leaving the concrete jungle behind and heading to a jungle of a different kind. That of Skull Island from Peter Jackson's King Kong. And here to tell you more is director Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that they have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're...
Welcome to the Afterlife, everyone. These are our Little Europe sets. They were seen in all 4 seasons of NBC's The Good Place. They were first built in 1929 for a production called Foolish Wives. They were also the backdrop of our first ever Best Picture winner, 1930's All Quiet on the Western Front. And it is named Little Europe. You've seen it in some European countries, including France, in Gilmore Girls and The Muppets, starring Jason Segel and Amy Adams. But it's also been the backdrop of fictional countries like Genovia. This was Genovia in Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement. Anne Hathaway walked these fake cobblestone streets. Yeah, not real cobblestone beneath the tram, it's actually pressed cement. It was also the backdrop for Rogers and Hammerstein's movie musical Cinderella, starring Brandy, Whitney Houston, and Bernadette Peters. On your right-hand side, that is the Court of Miracles, first seen in the 1923 silent film The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now, the Universal monsters truly are the heart and soul of our studio here. They saved Universal from going under during the Great Depression. During the Great Depression, studios had to double down on certain genres of film to stay afloat, and we here at Universal created the monster movies.
When we think of Universal, we think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein,
Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy,
The Hunchback of Notre Dame,
The Invisible Man.
Phantom of the Opera.
classic films. They're just brilliantly made.
That Frankenstein image, flathead, all of it.
It's one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. I was just mesmerized by these movies.
Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me. They still ring in our memories now, and we love them.
Now, folks, our tour is about approximately at the halfway mark, so just want to remind everyone to remain seated, keeping arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. A reminder, should you need any guest assistance, like you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, please put the red cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, please do remain seated during the entirety of the studio tour. Now, folks, I know the sun is setting, but what if we took a little trip to the beach? What if we all went to Amity Island? Now, folks, don't worry. Ignore on your left-hand side that the sign says the beach is closed. It's not. The mayor invited us personally. And trust me, I would never take my 170 new best friends anywhere unsafe. On your right-hand side, you can see they caught the shark. He's just hanging out. Plus, what if we had a cannonball contest? I have to warn you, though, I'm very good. So I'll jump in the water first. We'll figure it out. You can all... Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, boy, there's a fin in the water. Well, nobody jumped in the water because there it looks like there's a shark. I sure would be freaking out if someone was in the water right away. Where'd the shark go? Where did the shark go? Uh-oh. Well, some disembodied ominous screaming doesn't go well for us, folks. So I'm going to have Luke drive us to a safer spot. We're going to hide behind the dock, because as you can tell, there's a barrel of bait at the end of the dock. The shark will definitely take that instead of even noticing or messing with us. We're safe behind this dock. Wait, where's the dock going? Uh-oh.
Can we give a big round of applause for our mechanical shark, Bruce? Yeah, Bruce! Now, Bruce.
The Jaws ride was almost an inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created. I'm done bashing the shark. Thank you, Jaws, for everything you've done for me. But I will say, consistently, the shark did work much better on the tour than it did in the Atlantic Ocean in 1974.
Time for my favorite part of the tour, weather. When it comes to film and TV, it is truly a special effect. In fact, to demonstrate how weather effects are created, we debuted our first major attraction here on the studio tour way back in 1968. Welcome to the only part of the backlot with a 100% chance of rain. The flash flood.
Going for our lightning, you hear our thunder coming through our speakers, but we can even make it rain. I'm making it rain, Leo! This is what we do in sunny Southern California, right? When we need rain for a scene, we'll simply backlight it so you can definitely see the water on camera. The thunder you're hearing will typically be added to post-production. We want to make sure we can hear our actors' dialogue.
Where the orphanage was, right here in this area. But now we're saying goodbye to Old Mexico and howdy to the Wild Wild West. Welcome to 6 Points, y'all. These are our Western sets here on the Universal backlot, called 6 Points because in their original configuration, they were 6 different streets all meeting up in a wagon wheel formation, allowing us to have 6 different productions going on at once. And that helped Universal create over 200 films in 1 year. And that is a lot. These films were all about 10 to 15 minutes long, and they were all silent films, and that's why they could have so many different productions going on at once. Because it didn't matter how loud your neighbor was being, no sound was being recorded on your set or theirs. These sets have more contemporarily been seen in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Part of Brad Pitt's Academy Award-winning performance was filmed right here. Now these sets make me a little nostalgic. I grew up on country music, especially that one song that goes, "A single mom who works 2 jobs, who loves her kids and never stops," by country icon Reba McEntire, which on your left-hand side sounds ages 30 and 31, is where she's currently filming The Voice, alongside...
Motu was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
And now we are turning the corner onto one of Steven Spielberg's actual movie sets. Welcome, folks, to the set of War of the Worlds.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
And for again to sit down and talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, now listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Get them closed? Robbie, get in. Get in.
And that is a real 747 airplane there on your right-hand side. Purchased for $60,000 for an airplane graveyard in the Mojave Desert, and brought to our back lot across 4 different flatbed trucks for $200,000. That's also why the top of the airplane is ripped off, because they needed to take it off so it could fit under underpasses as it was driving and making its way to our lot. Now, it's currently in the backyard on your right-hand side of the Psycho House.
But you're thinking 60K, this is not too bad. A real airplane? Well, guess what? It costs another $200,000 to have it shipped here. I mean, it's always a shipping cost, so it'll get shipped, right? Over to your right-hand side, coming up, this is a staple of our studio tour here. This is the Psycho House.
And if you haven't seen Psycho, you might recognize this. One of the more iconic scores in horror history by Bernard Herrmann. Also coming up on your left-hand side, we
go another one that's actually a shell. So the first 2 walls there were original to the film. The other 2 walls were built out for sequels as well as the...
have a replica of one of LA's most iconic features. Well, it's the Hollywood sign. While Universal Studios is celebrating its 60th anniversary, the Hollywood sign is celebrating its centennial. Now, for the first few decades of the studio tour, one of our hallmarks was a visit to Prop Plaza, where guests disembark for once-in-a-lifetime photos and interact with characters, vehicles, props, their favorite productions. Well, guess what? Just for our 60th anniversary, we brought that opportunity back. Now, remember, folks, this is a limited stop. When you're ready to continue your tour, simply follow the signs and you'll be boarding a different tram with a new studio tour guide. So remember, please gather all your personal belongings and your 3D glasses. You will need them when we resume. As you disembark, please make your way past the red line. Please do wait, remain seated until the gates have opened, and have so much fun. Thank you.
Este no es el tranvía de español.
Our driver's name is Jason. We're saying goodbye to the Prop Plaza. We'll see you later. Peace out. And now there's a lot more to see. To show us the next part of the studio tour, we have Academy Award-winning director Jordan Peele.
I remember going to Universal Studios when I was 12 years old, feeling this feeling of wonder. One of my first trips to Universal Studios, seeing the Jaws ride. One of my favorite movies of all time. Just feeling like, that's him. That's the Jaws. But I don't even know if that is the Jaws. I hope it is.
For the Back to the Future trilogy. Those signs are replicas from the original props made for the 30th anniversary of the film. And currently we are on Steven Spielberg Drive, and he was...
Lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. What's a bad miracle? Welcome to the world of Neil.
Nope, that's right. You got the note. Okay. That's because this is an excellent example of sound.
Brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone can give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, on to the next day.
Call me back. It was all vibrating.
Sean traced us. Ops can't hold it forever. Letty, Roman, we're up.
Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting.
My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door. Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Alright folks, it's showtime. Put on those 3D glasses. You're going to need them for the next portion of our tour. Our driver Jason up here is going to get us through a high-speed chase. I hope everybody's ready for this one. Things are about to get real fast and real furious.
This is our turn. Okay, guys, it's showtime.
I got the bull by the horn!
Don't think you're getting away! Where to go, Letty?
Drone climbing up the missile shot!
Not gonna happen! Don't worry, I got you!
Robert, don't shoot! Head from the bridge! Under construction! Everybody hold on!
Ladies and gentlemen, Fast and Furious Supercharged! The finale of our studio tour and the largest convention in the world. new, more spectacular. To purchase any of the movies you saw on our tour today, visit www.uphe.com or visit one of our retail stores. Once you get off the tram, you can also check out the digital directory where you can find all of our wait times and show times there as well. Once you get off the tram, make sure you return those 3